2007. iPhone release timeline. It's difficult to believe that the original iPhone could only hold a measly 16 gigabytes of data. Oh, how far we've come. There weren't as many apps, add-ons, and gadgets as we have today. There wasn't even an app store yet. It was the beginning of something magnificent. A handheld product that could browse the internet and a screen you could actually see. It had only 128 milligrams of memory and a low-res 2.0 megapixel camera. Archaic compared to today's tech. Back then, though, a phone with a camera was a modern marvel in its own right. Generation 1. iPhone release date. Release order. First, the original iPhone was released on the 29th of June, 2007, and was the first generation. Price: the Generation 1 iPhone launched in the United States with a retail price of $499. Sales: the first generation iPhone sold 1.39 million units in 2007. OS 1.0 release date. Released. The original OS was released on the 29th of June, 2007. OS version history: OS 1.0 Apple stock, AAPL release, 15.4504 AAPL close, 25.0772 key. OS 1 features iPod integration. The built-in iPod gave Apple a great unique selling point: iTunes Wi-Fi music store, capability to download music directly to your iPhone's iPod app, mobile Safari web browser. Users can explore the web with a fully operational Safari browser. Google Maps. Shockingly good Google Maps integration with pinch-to-zoom functionality. Multi-touch software keyboard. Apple launched the first user-friendly touchscreen keyboard. 2008. iPhone 3G release timeline. When it comes to internal specs, the iPhone 3G wasn't doing much to distance itself from the original iPhone. There was still progress. The App Store. The incarnation of the iPhone got its moniker to showcase its 3G connectivity, which was a leap from older models. 3G meant that users could quickly access to the internet without losing their minds. Generation 2. iPhone 3G release date. Release order. Second, the iPhone 3G was released on the 11th of July, 2008, and was the second generation. Price: the iPhone 3G launched in the United States with a retail price of $599. Sales: in terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 11.63 million units in 2008. OS 2.0 release date. Released. The OS 2.0 was released on the 11th of July, 2008. OS version history: iOS 2.0, 2.1, 2.2 Apple stock, AAPL release, 21.8489 AAPL close, 10.8054 key. iOS 2 features App Store and third-party apps. Apple users could get 500 third-party apps from the App Store. GPS navigation. Ability to use navigation systems over network and Wi-Fi. Microsoft Exchange support. Integration for Ms. Exchange push email, contact and calendar data. Scientific calculator. With increased functions, users could conduct more complex calculations. Mobile Me. Cloud-based service for email, calendar and contact sync. 2009. iPhone 3GS release timeline. The Apple iPhone 3GS gave users a newly minted 32GB storage system. It's amazing how quickly the App Store changed the game. From taking photos and listening to music to messing around with apps, smaller storage systems weren't going to be enough to handle the volume. Strikingly, the camera was upgraded to a 3MP system, which allowed revolutionary video recording. It was also when Apple introduced voice control, although Siri wasn't yet on the horizon. Generation 3. iPhone 3GS release date. Release order. Third, the iPhone 3GS was released on the 19th of June, 2009, and was the third generation. Price: the iPhone 3GS launched in the United States with a retail price of $599. Sales: in terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 20.73 million units in 2009. iOS 3.0 release date. Released. Apple's iOS 3.0 was released on the 17th of June, 2009. OS version history: iOS 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 Apple stock, AAPL release, 17.6584 AAPL close, 26.6790 key iOS 3 features camcorder. The camera upgrade enabled VGA recording at 30fps MMS. Photos and voice recordings could now be sent via Messages Spotlight search. People can search their iPhone for content voice control. Users can perform basic voice commands like call John Smith, copy, cut and paste. Users could now highlight text and perform basic copy-paste functions. 2010 iPhone 4 release timeline. The iPhone 4 was the first to feature a front-facing camera. It was the true dawning of an era. Just like that, selfies took the world by storm. Groundbreaking Retina display alongside 512 megabytes of memory was leagues ahead of the iPhone 3GS, which only had 256 megabytes of memory. While the iPhone 4 was moving up in the world, the cap on storage still topped out at 32 gigabytes. Generation 4 iPhone 4 release date. Release order. 4th. The iPhone 4 was released on the 21st of June, 2010, and was the 4th generation. Price. The iPhone 4 launched in the United States with a retail price of $599. Sales. In terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 39.99 million units in 2010. iOS 4.0 release date. Released. Apple's iOS 4.0 was released on the 21st of June, 2010. OS version history. iOS 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 Apple stock, AAPL. AAPL release. 17.6584 AAPL close. 26.6790 key iOS 4 features FaceTime. Virtual face-to-face video calls with iPhone users over Wi-Fi. HD recording. High definition recording and autofocus introduced to the native camera. Multitasking. A limited amount of app functions could now run in the background folders. The pages of home screen apps could now be organized into folders. Game Center. Socializing gameplay. Share with friends. Track scores and more. 2011 iPhone 4S release timeline. It was a major leap. The iPhone 4S camera jumped from a respectable 5MP on the iPhone 4 to a staggering 8MP. It was also the introduction of a 64GB storage option. Another major contribution, but the memory held at 512 megabytes. Video featured 1080p, forever changing the landscape of the cell phone camera. It is also where our friend Siri arrived. Within the first week alone, Apple had sold 4 million units of the iPhone 4S. Generation 5 iPhone 4S release date. Release order. 5th. The iPhone 4S was released on the 14th of October, 2011, and was the 5th generation. Price. The iPhone 4S launched in the United States with a retail price of $649. Sales. In terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 72.3 million units in 2011. iOS 5.0 release date. Released. Apple's iOS 5.0 was released on the 12th of October, 2011. OS version history. iOS 5.0, 5.1 Apple stock, AAPL. AAPL release. 53.4258 AAPL close. 51.2736 key iOS 5 features Siri, the intelligent voice assistant that expanded voice command functions. iMessages. Free Apple-to-Apple messaging aimed to take on BlackBerry's BBM service iCloud. Mobile Me was replaced, and now you could sync all Apple devices automatically. iTunes Wi-Fi sync. When your device is charging, you can sync iTunes over Wi-Fi. Newsstand. Newspapers, magazines and articles could now be downloaded. Within a week of its release, memory was boosted to 1 GB, but the camera remained unchanged. LTE connectivity was standard on the iPhone 5, making 3G look like child's play. Now the internet was only a click away, no matter the location. The model also gave birth to the Lightning connector, combined with a larger 4 inches screen. Compared to only 3.5 inches on older models, the revolution was underway. Generation 6 iPhone 5 release date. Release order. 6th. The iPhone 5 was released on the 21st of September, 2012, and was the 6th generation. Price. The iPhone 5 launched in the United States with a retail price of $649. Trade-in. iPhone 5's trade-in prices are now worth this much. Sales. In terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 125.03 million units in 2012. iOS 6.0 release date released. Apple's iOS 6.0 was released on the 19th of September. 2012 OS version history. iOS 6.0 6.1 Apple stock. AAPL release. 89.0114 AAPL close. 67.9828 key. iOS 6 features Apple Maps. Google Maps was replaced by Apple's TomTom powered map system Passbook. Go paperless and scan boarding passes, tickets and cards on your iPhone 3G LTE FaceTime. Removal of the Wi-Fi requirement to make video calls to Apple users. Panoramic photos. This camera upgrade let users take 360-degree panoramic pictures. Photo sharing. Share photo stream selections with your friends. 2013 iPhone 5s and 5c release timeline. The iPhone 5s and iPhone 5c sold a combined 9 million units in the first week on the market. For frugal buyers, the iPhone 5c had a plastic cover that made it less expensive. The greatest selling point for this model was the 4 different colors. As for the iPhone 5s, it rolled out features like dual flash, Touch ID, and slow motion video, alongside an M7 motion coprocessor, which boosted the phone's battery life significantly. Generation 7, iPhone 5s and 5c release date. Release order. 7th. The iPhone 5 was released on the 20th of September, 2013, and was the 7th generation. Price. The United States retail price for the iPhone 5c was $549, and the iPhone 5s was $649. Trade-in. See how much they're worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone 5s, iPhone 5c. Sales. In terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 150.26 million units in 2013. iOS 7.0 release date released. Apple's iOS 7.0 was released on the 18th of September. 2013 OS version history. iOS 7.0 7.1 Apple stock. AAPL release. 60.8484 AAPL close. 73.4624 key. iOS 7 features fingerprint Touch ID. Fingerprint scanner provided as an alternative to the login passcode airdrop. Use Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to send files quickly between Apple devices. Control center. Swiping up on the home screen gives you a multitude of useful shortcuts. Multitasking upgrade. Apps can download data via push and trigger in a strong data connection areas. FaceTime audio. Use data to voice call friends over Wi-Fi and 3G LTE. 2014 iPhone 6 and 6 Plus release timeline. The changes and advancements from the S additions to newer models aren't as significant as earlier iPhone improvements. Internally, the iPhone 6 is similar to the iPhone 5s, but the main improvement is the addition of the larger screen. If that wasn't enough, the iPhone 6 Plus offered an even larger screen. The Retina display was eradicated and, instead, Apple rolled out to the HD features and a new 128GB storage plan. The memory stayed the same, and the megapixel level on the camera didn't increase. Not to be deterred, customers gobbled up 10 million units within the first week of sales. Generation 8, iPhone 6 and 6 Plus release date. Release order. 8th generation. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus were released on the 19th of September, 2014. Price. The United States retail price for the iPhone 6 was $649, and the iPhone 6 Plus was $749. Trade-in. See how much they're worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus. Sales. In terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 169.22 million units in 2014. iOS 8.0 release date released. Apple's iOS 8.0 was released on the 17th of September, 2014. OS version history. iOS 8.0 8.1 8.2 8.3 8.4 Apple stock. AAPL release. 94.0783 AAPL close. 103.3009 key. iOS 8 features Apple Pay, contactless payment with fingerprint authorization via your iPhone Health app, collective health data from third-party apps, with emergency data and contacts family sharing, advanced parental control around purchases, and file sharing capabilities iCloud Drive, opening up your phone's storage to a complete cloud drive continuity, seamlessly take and make calls or messages from all your Apple devices. 2015 iPhone 6s and 6s Plus release timeline. Comparatively, the 6s was a massive leap for Apple. The camera jumped from 8MP to a whopping 12MP, and the memory skyrocketed from 1GB to 2GB. After a viral sensation that accused the phones of being too bendable, Apple installed 7000 series aluminum into the 6s to back it up. These models also gave way to the 3D Touch features. Generation 9 iPhone 6s and 6s Plus release date. Release order: 9th generation. The iPhone 6s and 6s Plus were released on the 25th of September, 2015. Price: the United States retail price for the iPhone 6 was $649, and the iPhone 6 Plus was $749. Trade-in: see how much they're worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus. Sales: in terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 231.22 million units in 2015. iOS 9.0 release date. Released: Apple's iOS 9.0 was released on the 16th of September, 2015. OS version history: iOS 9.0, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. Apple stock: AAPL 6s and 6s Plus release: 108.7101 AAPL close, 107.18 key. iOS 9 features Apple Maps. The new polished version of Apple Maps distances itself from previous blunders. Delete built-in apps. Finally, you can remove apps that are pre-installed on your iPhone Home app. One app compatible with all HomeKit devices to control your smart home iMessage apps. Install apps from within iMessage to send money to friends, group order food and more. Improved lock screen. Interact with notifications. Quick access to the camera and music playback. 2016 iPhone SE 7 and 7 Plus release timeline: Generation 10 iPhone SE release date. Release order: 10th generation. The iPhone SE was released on the 31st of March, 2016. Price: the United States retail price for the iPhone SE was $399. Trade-in: see how much it's worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone SE sales: in terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 211.88 million units in 2016. The era of the long-forgotten iPhone SE passed quickly. It contained all the perks of the iPhone 6s, but it was smaller and lacked the 3D Touch option. The model was mainly introduced as an affordable alternative. 2017 iPhone 10, 8 and 8 Plus release timeline: Generation 12 iPhone 8 and 8 Plus release date. Release order: 12th generation. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus were released on the 22nd of September, 2017. Price: the United States retail price for the iPhone 8 was $699, and the iPhone 8 Plus was $799. Trade-in: see how much they're worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 8. Sales: in terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 216.76 million units in 2017. iPhone 8 and 8 Plus models showed the world the magic of wireless charging. The camera now featured improved editing capability and filtering of pictures. Display features were revolutionized with the automatic reduction. 2018 iPhone XS, XS Max, XR release timeline: Generation 14.1 iPhone XS XS Max release date. Release order: 14th generation. The iPhone XS and XS Max were released on the 21st of September, 2018. Price: the United States retail price for the iPhone XS was $999 and the iPhone XS Max was $1,099. Trade-in: see how much they're worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max sales: in terms of total iPhone sales, Apple sold 217.73 million units in 2018. Ignoring the iPhone 9, the XS and XS Max were the primary upgrades from previous models. It was similar to the iPhone X in its front-facing camera, allowing better selfies and memories for a lifetime. The Super Retina HD display was fantastic quality, yet The largest leap may have been its A12 Bionic chip, boosting the processing power and keeping your battery life intact. 2019 iPhone 11, 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max release timeline Generation 15. iPhone 11 Pro Max release date release order. 15th generation. The iPhone 11, 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max were released on the 20th of September, 2019. Price. The US retail launch prices were iPhone 11 $699, iPhone 11 Pro $999, iPhone 11 Pro Max $1,099 trade-in. See how much they're worth to sell and trade in now. iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11 Pro sales. TBC iPhone 11, the 20th of September, 2019. The iPhone 11 has been showcased as the most affordable of Apple's annual rollout, but it still had enough perks to be one of the year's most popular models. It boasts a 6.1-inch liquid retina display with 6 variations of eye-catching colors. The biggest hit comes in the form of the second camera on the back of the model. You're not losing any quality either, as both cameras have 12MP and multiple wide and ultra-wide lenses at your disposal. Then this year we have the iPhone 12 mini and iPhone 12 Pro, and last but not least iPhone 12 Pro Max. Apple on the 13th of October, 2020 introduced its newest flagship iPhones, the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 mini, which offer powerful features at an affordable price tag. Sold alongside the more expensive iPhone 12 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro Max, the iPhone 12 and 12 mini are ideal for anyone who doesn't need pro camera features. The 6.1-inch iPhone 12 is a successor to the iPhone 11, while the 5.4-inch iPhone 12 is an all-new size and marks the smallest iPhone Apple has introduced since the 2016 iPhone SE. Aside from screen size and battery size, the two phones are technically identical. With its small size, the iPhone 12 mini will be ideal for those who prefer an iPhone that can be used one-handed. All iPhone models this year feature Super Retina XDR OLED displays for the first time, with an edge-to-edge design with the exception of the facet notch and small bezels around the edge. There's no difference in display quality between the standard iPhone 12 models and the Pro models. The 5.4-inch iPhone 12 mini has a resolution of 2430 x 1080 with 476 pixels per inch, and the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 has a resolution of 2532 x 1170 with 460 pixels per inch. The displays offer HDR support with 1200 nits peak brightness, wide color for vivid, true-to-life colors, haptic touch for feedback, and true tone to match the color temperature of the display to the ambient lighting for a more natural viewing experience. Apple overhauled the design of the iPhone 12 lineup this year, introducing flat edges that are a departure from the rounded edges of prior models and are similar in design to the iPad Pro. The front of the iPhone is protected by a new ceramic shield cover that replaces the standard cover glass. Apple says the ceramic shield is infused with nano-ceramic crystals and offers 4x better drop performance. The back of the iPhone continues to be made from glass, with the two halves of the device sandwiching an aerospace-grade aluminum enclosure that comes in 5 colors: blue, green, black, white, and product red. Like the iPhone 12 Pro models, the iPhone 12 models offer IP68 water and dust resistance and can hold up to submersion in 6 meters of water for up to 30 minutes. All of the iPhone 12 models in this year's lineup support 5G connectivity for faster downloads and uploads, better quality video streaming, improved gaming, and higher definition 1080p FaceTime calls. 5G coverage is available worldwide, but only iPhone 12 devices sold in the United States support mmWave 5G, which is the fastest 5G technology available. iPhone 12 models sold in other countries are limited to the slower but more widely available sub-6 GHz 5G connectivity. In the US, 5G speeds can be as high as 4 Gbps, even in highly populated areas.